Mount Boothby Pastoral Company is a family business. My father started it, came out from the city, so I'm, I suppose, a second generation farmer. I just can't believe I get up every day and walk out and the office is the paddocks and the people that we do. We've got a great team in our business, and to work with them and my family is, I can't think of anything better. My father had a passion for agriculture and came down to this district and cleared scrub, did it pretty hard, and developed the business with Mum. They diversified the business into various enterprises of agriculture, cleared the country, and we've since been able to expand it. We're running a bit over 7,000 hectares in the Tintinara region, where it's mixed farming. It's sheep, cattle, cropping and pork production. So we're running 400 breeders, pure Angus cows to pure Angus bulls. For the vealer market, milk vealers, we try and tend to turn them off at sort of starting at 10 months of age and then run some through to 12 months plus. Genetics are critical. We can have all the rain, feed. If you don't have the genetic potential, you're not going to maximise it. And we focus on genetics very solidly in every enterprise that we do. Certainly in one, we wouldn't be in business if we weren't using EBVs and continual improvement. So we want to adopt that in our extensive operations, cattle being one.
Andrew and his family at Mount Boothby, as part of their mixed farming operation, run an Angus self-replacing herd and do breeding and finishing on their property. So they're turning off animals for that vealer type and then some yearling type MSA animals as well, and then marketing that towards the supermarket domestic trade.
Most of our country is dedicated to pasture, which is improved pasture, which is lucerne-based clover grasses, so some annuals and perennials, where we can feed stock, hopefully, over a 12-month period. Yes, we have some tough times. This country needs renovation continually, so we tend to renovate our country generally every 10 years. So we have a rotation type system. Better pasture management, more feed, more productivity. That's where it comes from. A lot of our country is well suited to cattle, and we do a lot of supplementary feeding, particularly sort of mid-late summer right through the autumn and into winter until we get sort of a good flush of feed. So it's critical that we maintain condition and lactating intervals to ensure we get sort of our carcass weights and at the right time.
By looking at the data in the last 2 years, Andrew's consigned over 200 cattle into an MSA program. With that, he has a compliance rate of around that 92.7%. And if we look at his average MSA index, that average index score of around 64.9. By looking a little more closely at Andrew's data over the past 2 years and some of those key factors that affect eating quality, their ossification scores on average are quite low, so an average OSS of 120, but a high proportion of animals that achieved an ossification score of just that 100. And then if we consider the marbling that these animals are doing, on average a marble score of 330.
We've been registered with MSA for approximately 10 years, and we did that initially, I suppose, for opening up better alternatives for markets or other alternatives, which certainly was the case. We regularly use it now. We regularly get the feedback, and to see, it's very important for us to see, in any pursuits that we do, that we're supplying what we intend to, what we state we are. Why wouldn't a producer be wanting to open up their opportunity and options for markets? And MSA is just a great tool for that. Apart from helping with good on-farm decisions, it creates another market option. Why wouldn't a farmer want to do that? It's better having 10 options when it comes to market instead of 1 or 2. The consumer is most important, and they're requesting a number of things now. It's not just consistency and quality, it's about the way that we treat our animals and manage our animals, and MSA ties that all up, particularly from a producer end, to ensure that there's some guarantees in place, and rightly so.